And let's see. All right, there we go. Got Marion here. Okay, a couple more people jumping in. All right, let's get this going. Okay, so you should be able to see my PowerPoint now. So we are going to run through this. It's basically just going to be me talking. If you have questions, feel free to jump in. If you want, you can wait till the end. If you want to email me about them, that's totally fine too. I just wanted to give you a little bit of information. I know all of you have done it before who are here this morning, so this isn't anything new for you. But I just wanted to make sure we're all on the same page as we get started. Our theme this year is Empower. So you're getting to see it released. The students will have t-shirts ready for the first day. So we'll be able to give those out to them at the launch. You'll all get t-shirts too, and we'll get those supplies on the first day. We're looking at for the Fall Academy, remember the 3 components: career exploration, who's your business partner, what do they do, get to know them, those mentors, the ambassador, all of that. Solving that design thinking challenge. Make sure you're working with your business partner on getting the questions solidified. Push back on them if you feel like it doesn't make sense or kids won't be excited about it. Working through that critique and revision, and then finally that pitch out in the end for them. And then most of all, we're looking at those skills for success. How do we get them ready for those next steps? Collaboration, communication, leadership, professionalism, building that social capital. What are we doing for them to prepare them for whatever is after this? If you do those things during the academy, whatever other spin you put on it is great. We want every team to be able to have their own identity, and it doesn't all have to look the same. As you progress through the academy, these are just some dates. I am going to share this whole presentation with you, so you can always go back and look at it. We're connecting this week. You're working with your partner, you're working with your business partner, trying to build that plan as you go. I know fall creeps up on us. We don't have as much time to plan, but that's fine. You've all been through this before. September 17th is launch day at CareerLine Tech Center. Your students, with the exception of Hamilton, because they don't have a bus in the morning, will be able to ride the CTC bus from their high school if they need transportation. Hamilton, I did reserve a van through Ashley for your team if you'd like to use it. If you all meet at Hamilton in the morning and then head back there at the end of the day, sometimes that works the best. That's great. We have a couple Hamilton kids signed up, so that would be easy for you to do. If other teams would like vans for during the day from getting from CareerLine to your business partner, we can help with that. You just have to let me know. I'm sure there will be a kid who falls through the cracks who says, oh, I have a ride, and then they don't. So we'll be prepared for that too to help shuttle them. Mostly communicating with your team when you reach out to them next week. We're at the tech center in the morning and you get picked up from your business partner in the afternoon. On launch day, it's not in the afternoon necessarily. You'll do team bonding, but we want you to do it at your business partner, not like at an escape room or wherever. It's going to be at your business partner. That's going to be day 1 for you. When you're at your business partner, you'll start there on the 17th. We're going to be finished by November 7th. It's twice a week, 3 to 5-ish. We'd love to have a solid hour and 45 minutes of work time. We know it takes them a few minutes to get there. We know they all kind of leave. So keeping that hour and 45 minutes of sacred work time with the team is great. College course will run again. We're running 2 options, one for first years, one for second years. Same courses, Google Classroom. One difference on launch day, somebody from MCC who works with me will be there. She's going to start the application with them online. That we have computers there for them to use. She's going to do the paper application with them. So all they have to do is get their parent's signature on it. So we're going to hopefully have them better prepared for this to be able to come back to you on the 19th or on the 18th and hand you the application and be done. That's the goal, as we can work through it a little faster. And then we will have that final celebration on November 7th. We do have to have this during academy time. We cannot have it during the school day. We've gotten a little pushback for pulling kids out of school, and they would prefer we have it during our normal academy time. So we will have a final celebration, but it will be back to the after school time. The only time you will miss for academy is launch day. So everything else will be during academy time. These are our partners this year. We went from 7 to 8. We might have a 9th team out there. I'm waiting to hear on some things. Good variety of partners, different locations across the county. So that's great. These are just some important reminders. I've touched on a lot of them already, but as you think about the Fall Academy on one screen, these are things to keep in mind. Your Monday, Wednesday, or Tuesday, Thursday, I think almost all teams, with the exception of one, are Tuesday, Thursday, which is completely fine. Try to stay to those, even if, one of your schools has a fall break or something like that. A lot of other kids don't. We want you to really try to stick to, I know this is more of a problem in the winter one, but try to stick to these dates and getting 2 days a week in with your team. You're only going to be with one company partner. Teams will be 5 to 7. Think about the mentor piece. Start scheduling those dates. It's every other week, starting with the second week of the academy. We really want this to be purposeful, and we're going to talk about it in a second of what that should look like. Kickoff day, make sure you get your sub for that. And then the stipend on the Anchor doc, which I will send you. We have a Google Drive, so I'll send you the drive. There is a link to the contract. Try to get that filled out by October 1st for Carrie so that we can get you paid. Thinking about the design challenge, this is just a little layout. We've seen it before of how you would work through, how you would involve your ambassador. The stuff in bold is a great place to have your ambassador come in. You want to think about spending a lot of time in investigation and then coming up with ideas, building that solution. As you're working with your business partner right now, make sure you're emphasizing those. We have to have the driving question. I told them by the 10th. I'm meeting with all of them at 10 a.m. today. So trying to finalize that driving question with you, sharing with them what the creative sequence is and how we work through that design thinking model, and then pushing with them that skills for success are so important, that these students haven't had opportunities like this. So how can we make sure that they're put in situations where they have to practice those skills for success? We are going to do the Padlet again. I'll be updating that on the Anchor doc today. I did leave some examples on there. You all did a great job with it last year. People are using these Padlets. All of our business partners now have company pages that they love, that they can share with people. So these are really important that you're documenting the journey, sharing it. The business partners are actually using it and really liking seeing that. As we think about the mentoring piece, this is one part I'd love to see us beef up a little bit. I want students to really have this as a professional experience, not just a checkbox. These conversations help them so much later on. This is something a lot of kids take away from the program. We'd love to create that relationship, that it's something that they take with them, that they have a new person in their network. So trying to push the 4 meetings, 30 to 45 minutes. If you can get that 1-to-1 ratio, great. If it's not 1-to-2, 1-to-3, we know things come up. We know people have to switch in and out, but the best you can do to have consistency with this, and trying to think about and talk to the students of, what do you actually want? Like, who do you want to get to know better? What position are you curious about? Whether you can do that through a Google form or something like that. The mentor guide is up to date for the fall. All students will get it in their student folders. It's in our Google Drive. All ambassadors will have it as well. So everybody's on the same page. I'd like to have the students bring this to their mentor meeting. If they get stuck, they need help asking questions, there's so many prompts in it that they can use. I am telling the ambassadors that kids will bring them to the meetings, so make sure they have their folders, they have something to write with. They're going in prepared to these meetings so that we can make them the best that they can be. This is one area that I think from our side, from the business side, that we can all make a little bit stronger for the kids and more meaningful. So if we can work on that this session, that would be great. A couple things for you to think about. Critical Friends Day. We've done it several ways over the years, and I want to leave it up to your team. So I'm going to send you a Google form asking about what supplies you need, if you need a van, and I'm going to have this question on it as well. And I want you to talk with your partner about what would you like. So we've done before a little networking feedback event where they come to the tech center. We do networking for an hour, then you get to meet with another team and do some critique and revision. We're looking at doing that again if teams want it. This would mean your team would have to come there. It's Tuesday, October 22nd. If you'd also like to talk to your team about this, we don't necessarily have to know today what your answer is. We can also send an educator or professional to you, and they can give your team feedback. Or we could partner you with another team to get feedback. This is something that everybody can choose a different option on. If only 4 teams want to do the networking event, that's fine. We can do it for just those 4 teams. If no teams want to do that, that's okay too. I don't want to waste your time. If it's not something that you feel like is meaningful or it doesn't work for your team, we can choose one of these other options. I'd just like to provide some support for that critical friends and feedback where you have somebody else coming in to talk with your team and to share. This and we won't have a whole group discussion on it because I'd rather have you just talk to your partner, and you could even wait and talk to your team. I'd like to know an answer probably by October 1st so that I can get everything set up. But again, this will come to you as a question, and I'll probably reach back out to you again and say, like, what are you thinking? What would you like to have? If there's an option 4 that you're like, actually, we'd like to do this, that's great too. You can let me know that. Supplies and P cards. P card, we're doing a little different this year. Everyone will get one, but we have a team folder on our Google Drive. That's where your receipts are going to go. You just take a picture of it, put it in your team folder. You don't have to send copies to Carrie then. This is easier for her to pull things out of that. So every team will have a folder labeled in our Google Drive that I'll share with you, and you can just put the receipts right in there. Be mindful. These aren't full meals we're doing. If once or twice you want to order pizza, that's totally fine. If you want to go out for coffee once or twice, that's totally fine. But just be mindful about how much money you're spending, snacks that you're doing. Don't go out and buy like so much the first day, and then kids are kind of sick of those snacks a couple weeks in, and you're like, shoot, but we have so many left. Ask them what they want. What are their favorite snacks? We do want to spoil them. We want them to really look forward to that part. Kids do. So definitely buy the snacks. Make sure you have them. And the first day you guys could get ice cream, order something, whatever, when you go to the business partner. But make sure you have them by the second day. Like when they show up after school, they're going to be hungry. So make sure you have snacks and stuff for them. We'll give you your P card that morning at the tech center. If you'd like it before then, let me know and I can bring it out to you. I'll send out a supplies request form. I'd love it by next Friday. We're giving everyone their normal traditional bins, putting extra stuff in, chart paper. But if there's other things you would want, let us know that too. And then I did link in here the planning template slides, the planning Word doc. I don't need any of those things from you. It's just if it helps you and your partner with planning, that's great. But you don't need to turn anything in with that though. And then the Anchor doc is linked in here too. So we tried to put everything in here so you could have it. The Anchor doc is just a Word document. It goes through all the important dates. It has our team roster in there. I put a sample email to the team, which all of you have done an email to the team at this point. So not to these teams, but in the past. So you have your own emails that you like to do with them. I am not going to have you email them until probably 1 week from launch, so next Tuesday. So if you want to start thinking about that, that's great. I've been communicating with them. I copied you on it. I'm going to communicate with them again today and send permission slips and all of that. But then I'm going to let them know you're going to hear from your team leaders next week, Tuesday, so that you can start drafting whatever you want your first communication with them to be. Take a peek at that sample email, get the information in it that you want with them. And just starting to make that connection. We all know it usually works better to set up a text string of some sort. If you're not comfortable with that, you can always use a Google phone number or Remind, but we know that they operate better with their phones. I did link all the other things in here too. Your contract Google form is in there as well. P-card procedures, sub reimbursements, that's all in here. The calendar's in here, the toolkit. The Google Classroom I'm still updating, so we'll get that in there. And then the Padlets are coming. I kept some sample Padlets on there. Yeah, so some sample pitches are on there. Everything's in there that you'll need access to. We're trying to make everything digital so that it's easy to access and find. So that's what I had for you today. thank you for coming on and just listening to this. I wanted to make sure that we had a moment to be able to touch base just because we hadn't yet. So I thought that was important to be able to